You know what I'm saying?
Good morning slash afternoon, everyone. I'm back again with my beaded headband. It could also be used as a necklace if you want to be creative. But to get down to things, it's the first day of cooler weather where I haven't worn short sleeves. I've been wearing it, but I haven't worn long sleeve tracksuits since April or May, perhaps, so fall is kicking in. And these are my pants that don't even match the tracksuit, so I gotta get pants. And here's Irene, sweet Irene. You don't want to be?
Not yet.
She wants.
I'm gonna get
She'll
the
talk
end.
at the actual talk. She's been in a few other videos, but this video focuses on me. I don't know if I want to go public, and I had to write things down. But you want to know where I really was this summer? You really don't want to know. Nobody wants to know. Well, let's just roll the story back to the beginning so I don't forget it piece by piece. But I was so shocked they made an example out of me that I almost had a heart attack. Unfortunately, I had to go to jail this summer for about a little over a week or maybe 2 weeks. I couldn't believe I was in the big house. But I went to court to get a restraining order against someone in my building, and that person says, I hope you pay in court, God's gonna punish you, I'm gonna put a hex on you, and I guess their hex worked, and I don't believe in that shit. I went to get the order of protection to be the, what is it called, complaintee? Not the defendant, the plaintiff.
Complainant. You're the complainant.
Petitioner?
You are the complainant.
Oh, I'm the complainant, not the petitioner. And
Same
I
thing.
forgot, my boyfriend gave me the Swiss Army knife, which is longer than 3 inches. It could do serious damage, and I didn't remember what pair of pants it was in. Well, I happened to go to court that day with the knife on me, and the metal detector went off. They found the pepper spray in my bag, they found the knife in my pants, and the cuffs went right on. It wasn't the first time getting arrested, and I really don't want to talk about jail, because it's not fun, but I did meet a lot of people and make a lot of friends, but there's a reason they're there, and that's why I didn't take any phone numbers. But rolling back, I had to go out court at 120 Skimmerhorn, criminal court, to the precinct, to the 88th, 9 hours, cried, sobbed my eyes out. An investigator came up to me and asked me, they're making an example out of you, you got to understand, I was interrogated down to the 3rd degree, and I didn't even know half the answers. And they're very corrupt in Rikers. But getting back, I got shipped downtown by lunchtime the next day. Or could have been dinner. I didn't even know if it was day or night, but it was 90 fucking degrees and it was raining. And I didn't expect this. And I guess the person in the building, the stalker, got their fucking wish. And my mom and her husband were flipping out about it. My son was crying. I was gone so long. All I cried for was that little boy. I even missed his birthday from July 23rd through so I get back on YouTube, about, what would you say, maybe the 1st or 2nd of August? I don't know. But July 23rd was not a good day for me. And I tried to run, and they caught me. And I had, the adrenaline. It's called Abominator, where your heart drops to your stomach. Right, Irene? That's the adrenaline. Yes. I couldn't believe. I was shocked that I was in jail, of course. Because I haven't got locked up in, 9-10 years? And that was and every time I got locked up, I had to do for an anger problem. So the judge thought I needed anger management in my family, but this time I didn't bring a knife because I was angry getting an order of protection. My mom calls it a writ, but a writ of protection is from the 70s. It's an order of protection is what it's called, and I got the order of protection on the neighbors. These are different neighbors and they're stalkers, but getting down to the bottom of things, they didn't take me straight upstairs to Central Bookings. They took me to the precinct and then there, and I met a lot of people, and I puked, and I couldn't stop crying and vomiting, and found out dreams really don't come true, and I'm not pregnant. Even though I look 9 months pregnant, I'm not pregnant, and I really want to be pregnant more than life itself. And I thought if something bad happened, something good would result. Like the last time I was arrested, I got pregnant with Harley instantly after, but I guess this time's either a surprise or nothing. It's an all or nothing and more of a nothing. And I met some people, I'm not going to give names out, but I met some very interesting characters, and I had to sleep on top of other people. It was 55 degrees with the air conditioning on in Central Bookings at criminal court. And they put me in the men's cell by accident when I was talking in a booth to one of those lawyers. And I got out, and they were like, the Hunger Games, fresh meat. And I had a female officer escort me out of there. I went downtown, and then, I make the 11 o'clock judge at night. and she fucking throws the book at me. And they took me upstairs to corrections, and they were closed at 1 in the morning, so they put me back with all the women after I said all my goodbyes. I gave one girl my Facebook, but I doubt she'll remember my last name starts with a K. Evidently, I met some, and that was the one that we were sleeping on top of each other. And these two girls were fighting over a guy, and they were fighting over fruit, you know. But I didn't get a beating or raped or anything or flirted on. Well, one woman did in Rikers, but I didn't flirt back. And I was surprised she had a kid. And Irene, why are there so many lesbians in jail? Do you know that?
Have no idea.
Idea with an R? You're funny. I like your nails. I call her Sweet, Sweet Irene. But getting back to the topic, they had me chained to two girls, and I'm going on this bus, Rikers bound. And it's not funny. I was crying so much, I thought that my face was drawn in. Someone asked me, would you go to a powerful breakup? I was like, no. Somehow the word got out. I was charged with the felony of a weapon. Evidently, the charges eventually got dropped. Not asking you how they got, not going to tell you how, but I know people. And Monica knows, the rabbi knows, the whole freaking world knows. Why can't YouTube know? And it was very traumatizing because I remember being on the run from the police, but they got me once. But this time, I didn't even see this coming. I was planning on having a beautiful lunch. Next thing I know, there's ugly peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And I only ate the fruit. I starved myself pretty much. As a vegetarian, the chicken was oily and thick. And usually an inmate would make it. Now, in Rikers Island, you get to watch one channel on a TV, and I played mental and went to in the infirmary. And people were trying to protect me because they knew I was an incomer, and I was one of the only few Caucasian people in there. And yeah, why is my stomach fluttering? Feels like a baby kicking in there. Nah, my stomach's just a little upset about the situation. I am having the flutters and all the symptoms, but it's stress with these jails and ex-boyfriends and booty calls and sleep and going from place to place and getting. 2 years ago, it was all about the pneumonia and the bed bugs and mom with the cancer, and that was a tragedy. But she beat it. And you know it could always come back anytime, so you got to be careful. And I've been through a lot of hell, and I'm planning on sharing this. And I don't want to go over 15 minutes, and I'm not sure if I'm making it public. But back in the jail, they didn't even give me a pillow, and I had to make my own little pillow out of a towel, and I made my own weapon out of a toothbrush in case someone attacked me, which wasn't the case. People and I did a lot of reading. They had a life skills class, anger management course, and you were all mandated to go. And a lot of people were on methadone in there, so they were in the Keep Clinic, and they almost put me in there, and I was like, I'm not on that stuff. Don't put me in there. What is methadone?
It's something
For heroin?
Yes.
Yeah, there are a lot of junkies there. I'm not going to say I'm not a junkie myself. I'm one of the biggest potheads in the United States, but well, I'm not high now, but usually 99% of the time I am high, so, right? Well, I don't usually talk much when I'm stoned, but I had a lot of coffee, and I'm going to make a video, and it really bothers me, and my hair got really long.
And it looks nice.
Thank you, Irene.
It looks nice.
And she seems like one of the nicer ladies on that block by the candy store. Mohammed guy gives me trouble. I call him Indio, and he calls me India. But getting back to jail, as I don't want to talk about, was a horrifying experience. I did make friends, and people wanted my number when I was leaving, and I couldn't make bail, and that's the reason I was sent to Rikers. That was right. My dad had to bail me out because my mother didn't have the money, and my court date was August 2nd, and that's how long I had to stay. The minute the bail came, I already stayed enough time where I was 2 hours behind. They put me, not intake, but on the outtake, and before I get to the outtake where they held me for 5 hours before I was looking all over the fucking island for my ID, they didn't want to give back in my engagement ring and earrings. I really enjoyed. I thought I was going to get an orange jumpsuit, but we got an olive, tan color jumpsuit, and I really liked it. It was comfortable. You had a shower in public, brush your teeth in public. But, you know, I live with a woman in my apartment, my mom, and evidently I sleep at Monica's all the time, so I've seen nudists around. Don't tell anyone Monica's a nudist. But yeah, she wasn't going to post a bail, especially it was in the middle of the night, and I didn't ask her to. She got overly involved and called the police department. And the arresting officer was a real fucking asshole. And my lawyer comes to me and says the cops are not your friends. I said, I don't know that. I don't know that. I'm 30 years old. And there was a woman in there that was one was for prostitution, one got locked up for fighting with another girl. They both were hospitalized. Another one was there for an open container. One was there for speeding, which really another example was made, and that woman was there for 24/7. One was banging her head against the wall like this. Another woman was kicking the cage. Another girl was sleeping in the booth room, and when she got locked in. I tried to get her out. The cops thought that I was trying to get in there, and I said, "This lady's locked." The one that was 18, and I thought she was gothic wearing fishnets. She reminded me of my ex. She was hot, but whatever. Moving on. I don't understand why there's so many lesbians, but I didn't participate because none of them are my type, as I am pansexual. Meaning I can have a crush on a gay person. I have a crush on their spirit, not on their dick and pussy. That's not how I work. Even though you do get beneficial, like how the religious Jews have sex for babies, but I do enjoy my pleasure out of it. But out of there, the food is highly disgusting. I couldn't even bring my own food from home. It was horrifying. I was so happy when I got out. I said, "Sweet, sweet victory. Sweet, sweet freedom." And the knife was longer than like 6 inches. It was huge, and I didn't even know how to flip it open, and I got caught with it, and that was it. I didn't even make it to get the order of protection. I'm working on, I don't even know if they're going to let me do it now, but I have to go. I went to court. Now I got to go back to court in January. Why so long? And it's a rainy day, and I'm feeling miserable. Is there anything you want to say? Because I'm about to close out.
I just say this is unbelievable,
Unbelievable. Shocking.
shocking to say the least.
But I did meet some real interesting characters there. And the only good thing was that I bumped into someone I knew in Central Bookings. So I had them to protect me by my side the whole time. I knew this lady from a homeless shelter, and one of them was there. A lot of them were there for sneaking K2 in their pocket. Some lady had a cigarette in her bra. I can tell you interesting stories. And I've seen some very familiar faces. I'm very good with faces, and I'm not good with names. And I just hope I never experience anything in my life like that ever, 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 ever again. I never dreamed I'd end up in the big house. And they were even talking about sending me to federal prison. And they trumped up, they put me on 17 charges. The arresting officer was so fucking mean. And they called the correction officer COs, which is really an insult. My lipstick sideways? I don't know. Well, I'm depressed, and it's a deep-seated depression, and I'm going through a lot, and I'm not a happy person. I'm miserable, and that's not just the reason. I'm going through hell. I never get what the fuck I want out of life. I try for things to break my body. You can't fake it to make it, honey. You gotta break it to make it. And in jail, you gotta act tough, but be yourself. I didn't have to make a weapon out of a toothbrush, but I thought I was gonna get attacked because I'm the little white girl. I'm not racist. I'm just putting it out because a lot of people are, right?
Right.
And you don't know which ones are and aren't. You gotta be careful with these characters. It's New York, remember. If I go over 15 minutes, this video will never load. So I'm going to bid everyone adieu and just say that I learned my lesson, and I hope to God, I always say it will never happen again, and it does. There won't be a next time. Let's just hope and have our fingers crossed that they will not happen next time. So just never accidentally check your belongings before you go to the courtroom. The last time they kept my camera, but this time they got the knife, they got the pepper spray, and I had to fight for my ID all over the island. And I couldn't believe that I tried to go to the hospital and play mental to get out of it, but that just wouldn't work. Have a good day. Stay out of trouble. Me too. Say bye. Say stay out of trouble.
Stay out of trouble,
folks.